Happening, sports fans. The reason both of us are smiling is because we're about to unhurl some nonsense at you for the next 10 minutes about
feeling of deja vu.
Oh yeah, that's right. Look, the buddy cop rides again. We're back at it. It's the Division 4 boys basketball playoffs.
A Bergen in the building.
I can't do that kind of intro. So I'm just going to say this. This bracket, to me, there's a legitimate way to analyze this, that there's the way that I just kind of want to push all my chips in on. So what I will start with is a congratulations to our top-seeded team, Southwest San Diego, to move from winning Division 5 to the first seed in Division 4. That's pretty solid, man. That's something that I would say a very small percentage of teams are able to make that transition.
By the end of last season, I mean, when they made their run in the D5 state playoffs, I even said to myself, they might have actually finished in the quarters or semis or maybe even the championship game of Division 4 last year. So they're right where they need to be.
So first thing we have to talk about is that the Southwest San Diego Raiders will be playing the winner of a play-in game between Calipatria and Vincent Memorial. Vincent Memorial just won league, as we addressed in our league championship edition, which you need to jump over and check out. So Calipatria, Vincent Memorial, break that one down real fast for us. As I said, winner of that goes on to take on the number 1 seeded Southwest San Diego.
I'm going to pick Calipatria in this one. I think they beat Vincent Memorial this year, and pretty handily, if I recall correctly. Vincent Memorial gets the home game though. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So Calipat has their work cut out for them. Got to travel down to the border, but I think they get it done.
Fair enough. Winner of that one will take on Southwest San Diego. Let me just start with this before we get into all the other brackets. I'm willing to say, are you going to take Southwest or the field?
I'm taking Southwest.
Fair enough. I will take the field. I just think that back-to-back championships, 2 divisions up in a row, that's a stratosphere to shoot for. So Southwest San Diego will take on the winner of Calipatria versus Vincent Memorial. These games will all be played on Tuesday. Mm-hmm. So I'm so confused why it says the 13th on the quarter.
And it is the 13th.
Look, these games are going to be played either Tuesday or Wednesday, depending on who is putting all these scores into Max Preps. We're working with what we got here, Linda.
It's the 13th.
It's the 13th. Games are on Wednesday. So scratch what I said in the D5 bracket. Our next game is the 9-8 bracket, and that's LCAP versus Victory Christian Academy. Victory Christian gets a split of a league title. Winner of this one moves on to play the winner of the Southwest San Diego game. I'm going to go with Larry Oldham III and Victory Christian. The upset, this is just always my safe upset to pick.
Okay. I think I'm going to go with LCAP in this one. I think Victory actually finished ahead of them in the standings, but LCAP beat them head-to-head earlier this year.
Fair enough.
And I think that LCAP, they've got the pieces to neutralize what Victory Christian does well.
Okay.
Christian Ubochi in the middle is tough, but they've got Randy Tucker to handle him. Larry Oldham and Jalen Wilson are solid guards, and LCAP has a couple of underrated guys, Ja'Cory Harris and of course Jacob Fitzner. So I think I'm
tough, but you're tougher, or you're tough, we're tough. It's gonna be a good game. Look, those middle bracket ones are always so juicy because you get the 2 most actually evenly matched teams, and it just turns into a fun coin toss. Moving down 1 slot in the bracket, number 5 Imperial, the Tigers. They are league champs this season. Be sure to check out our league championship edition podcast.
Yep.
They are going to take on Escondido Charter. Now, Escondido Charter is the 5. They have to travel all the way out to, or is the 12. They have to travel to the 5 Imperial. So
guess what we have in this one? We got a cat fight.
We do. We got Tigers.
Tigers and the White Tigers.
Tigers and Tigers. So who's going to have their claws out and who's going to not? I don't know what to do with cat fights there. My cat is lazy and just sits on my couch and is like, feed me.
Fish.
Dude, my cat and your fish should be friends.
I don't think that will work.
So Imperial, I will go with them. I think that this is a team that has a ton of athleticism in the paint, and when you have people that can attack the boards, you can ultimately control, even though Escondido Charter has some shooters, when you're just controlling those offensive and defensive rebounds, is game.
I'm going to go with Imperial as well. That drive is not one I envy for David Dosick and the White Tigers of Escondido Charter. Imperial has played a few of the teams in this bracket, including San Diego Southwest earlier this year. They lost that game by about 18. I heard it was pretty close, and then San Diego Southwest pulled away at the end of the game. But the Tigers have been built. This has been building for 4 years. This freshman class, was really good at the JV level. Then, struggled for a couple years at the varsity level. They finally arrived, and they've got some younger pieces. A sophomore, Jordan Reed, who's also very special on the football field as well. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to pick Imperial, and I think that the winner of this game is going to go pretty far in the
and that Imperial team is one of the reasons why I'm picking the field. The next game is why I was laughing a ton. Look,
Nepotism.
Look, no. Look. If you followed our show for a couple years, or if you haven't, I'll explain it to you how this kind of works. It gets boring and tedious to always, when we're doing these selection shows, go with the smart pick, the savvy pick, the intelligent pick. Sometimes, just for the sake of giving you guys something that is not just all of us up here agreeing constantly with every single matchup, you got to roll the dice on a team or two. Mm-hmm. Last year, Hilltop boys basketball as the 14th seed banked in one against Maranatha. Mm-hmm. I don't remember what the second one was, but it was another upset. Mm-hmm. They routed it off. So look, Hilltop is the 13 seed. I will just go ahead and push all the chips in on they beat O'Farrell, they beat Imperial, and they go into overtime maybe. Like they go down to the wire against Southwest San Diego, level, push in all the chips. This is not to say anything against O'Farrell. So if you're from O'Farrell and you're hearing this, you just drew the wrong seed. You could put Cathedral in that seed, and I still would take Hilltop over. Like, you could put the 96 Bulls, and I would still take Hilltop over them. So, Aaron, please speak some rationality into this argument.
I'm going to throw my chips in with you on this first game.
Yes. Come down to my level.
Yeah. Hilltop beat O'Farrell by 37 when they played in the regular season. 88-51. That's not a fluke.
On the other side of the bracket, we have number 3 Mission Vista taking on number 14 Calvin Christian. Mission Vista, very successful shooting team from beyond the arc. I really like what Quinn Elliott and that team is up to this season, so I will take the Vouvs.
Aiden Twyman is, when we talked about it a couple of weeks ago, you need a dude to get through some of these games, Jims and Joes. Aiden Twyman's a Joe, and I don't think that Calvin has a guy who can match up with him. So I'm going Mission Vista as well.
Next game, number 6, Pack Ridge will take on number 11, High Tech San Diego. I like Pack Ridge. They've been a consistently, a home game type seed in the playoffs the last couple years. They're moving up. I like them. I will take them here.
Taking them too. Defensively, they're tough. They like to play pack line. They force you to shoot a lot from the outside, which isn't High Tech's forte necessarily. And they've got some size in the interior as well. So I'm going with the Firebirds.
Ooh, I love that mascot. Next one, we got number 7, Calexico, hosting number 10, El Cajon Valley. I'll take El Cajon Valley as the upset here. I like something about this D4 bracket being a really battle royale, rumble, melee type setup this year.
I don't know much about Calexico, I'm going to be honest, but I do know a lot about El Cajon Valley. My son's team played against them earlier this year. Davion Rogers is a big follower of the podcast, has had a really good year, and he's another Joe in this bracket that I think can actually win a game by himself. So I'm going to go El Cajon Valley as well.
Our last game, the number 2 seeded Mount Carmel versus the 15 seed Crawford. Crawford has had some kids come back late in the season that have changed things. I think that they stun the world with an upset here.
I actually was going to pick that until I got a direct message from Dreonte Raymond, their sophomore scorer virtuoso, out 6 to 8 weeks with a broken ankle. Just as they're getting Ricky Stewart and Jabbar Muhammad back.
I still like Ricky, man.
I like Ricky too. I'm going to say Mount Carmel with a confidence level of -1. I think that Crawford.
Here's the thing. Nobody knows what the scale is on, if that's from 1 to 100, -1. So now you're just throwing imaginary numbers out at people.
Basically, imaginary numbers.
Fair enough.
Not very confident in this pick. I'm going to go Mount Carmel tepidly. I would not be surprised if we come back here on Thursday and we're talking about a 15 and a 10 seed playing against each other.
Fair enough. Well, we'll have to see what happens. We'll be back whatever day allegedly all of these do or don't play. Check the Max Preps things. We're not well informed on any of this, as you can tell. Games will be played on Wednesday. Look, man, I got so little horsepower left up here to even. I don't even know how to say your name.
I can't even talk right now. I have no voice.
Fair enough. Well, then we'll go on to the next one, Division 3, coming up in just a second.
D3.